Thank you very much, Rory, for the introduction. Well, as he said, I'm the regional director for GRSB. I'm based in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And I've been on this role since January 2017, so almost 2 years now. And as Rory said, I've been quite busy opening new roundtables or aligning the existing one with the GRSB. So, yeah, we have now 5 national roundtables in Latin America. We have the new one that was Mexico, that unfortunately they couldn't come, but they are already working on developing the national roundtable. In the case of Paraguay and Argentina, we developed the roundtable from zero. There were, in the case of Argentina, some attempts to have the roundtable, but the context was not right at that moment. And lately, with the new government, the context helped to have the roundtables and the whole supply chain could align. The same case happened in Paraguay. The context helped. They want to start exporting more beef to the world, and they wanted to tell the world the good stories about Paraguay. Everything that was on the media were the bad stories, so it was very important to put all the sector together and start telling the world what Paraguay was doing. In the case of Colombia, the roundtable was already in place. It has a big public approach, as the national government was also supporting the national roundtable. And since 2017, they aligned with the GRSB, and also they are working on the national criteria and bringing more the private sector to the national roundtable to start also bringing some demand on sustainable beef. In the case of more of the national roundtables, the big challenge is the demand. The national markets in Latin America are not yet demanding sustainable beef. Most of the countries that are working on this is because there is an export market that they want to enter, or because some kind of retailers or companies like McDonald's, they're saying that they're going to buy the sustainable beef. But that demand is not really happening right now. So many of the roundtables are more kind of proactively doing this. But the big challenge is to see where the demand is and kind of trying to convince producers to do this, because the market is going on that direction. So that's a big challenge. In most of the country where I start, they all ask me about where's the market. We want to work on sustainability. We want to see the long term. But at the end, everybody, mostly in Latin America, they live very much on the short term. So the market challenge is a huge challenge for all the national roundtables. But all the producers, they are very convinced that they need to do it. But of course, then there is the market questions that comes all the time. But anyway, well, as I said, there are 5 national roundtables. There are more to come in maybe next year. There is a lot of interest from Central American countries. I've been talking with people from Honduras, well, also Ecuador, and they really want to start their national roundtables. So with the support of UNDP, WWF, McDonald's, and many other institutions that are really working together with me, it's not only me doing this, that we are going to start with new roundtables in other countries in Latin America. So now I'm going to focus also in the Argentinian roundtable, as I'm Argentinian and I've been leading the national roundtable since the beginning. I'm going to briefly introduce what we are going to talk later on the breakout session with Mercedes Vasallo, that she belongs to a producer organization. So Argentina, well, we started the roundtable in December 2017. We formalized the roundtable. We have along the year many sessions with all the supply chain to see if there was interest to have the national roundtable. They had other attempts in the previous years, but the national context was not right at that moment to have a roundtable. Argentina had closed down the country to the world. They were more focused on the domestic market, and the past government didn't want really to encourage the beef exports. It was more like for the national market. So it was the sector suffered a huge crisis for the last 12 years of the past government, and with the new government that came in place in 3 years ago, the sector is kind of reconverting and starting to export again, and also to kind of restructuring and also aligning with many policies, internal policies that were not right at that moment. So just a little bit of introduction on Argentina. Maybe a lot of people already know this, but I think it's important to give this short introduction. We have a population of 43 million, a cattle stock of 54 million. Most of that goes to the domestic market. It's 80% that the domestic market consumes. We are among the countries with the largest consumer of beef. We consume like almost 60 kilos per inhabitant per year, and also some chicken and pork, but beef is our main diet in Argentina, so there is a huge consumption. Well, we have 30 million annual slaughter, 3 million carcass, and the export, as I said, because of this new context, has been increasing in 2017 up to 62%. So, well, as I said, the Roundtable initiated in December 2017. We are already 50 organizations that form the National Roundtable from all along the supply chain. We have already validated our mission, our vision, and the sustainable beef definition and principles. We are working now on the indicators and kind of going more into detail and to see which are our priorities and how to develop the indicators. And we will be legally constituted by the end of this year. So which are the priorities for Argentina? Well, first, since the new government, there is a national roundtable that is working on also lobbying with the government to develop new policies and to restructure all the sector, as I said. And one of the main concerns was how to align the domestic sanitary requirements with the export market sanitary requirements. There was like a portion of the production that was working with certain requirements that were mainly the ones that export or they were selling to the big retailers, but the largest part of the production was not really aligned. So we are working on kind of raising the bar. We are also working on how to increase productivity and efficiency, to increase the winning rate and the slaughter average weight, and also on entering new markets. So on this part of entering new export market, we saw sustainability as a good opportunity.